All right. So we are here with Dorothy Payne Polk, which is one of my clients and also a life coach. And I think that in this climate, everyone is looking to improve themselves, live their best life, understanding what that even looks like, and then moving forward to really working on themselves and inner work. And so I don't think we have an idea of like what is a life coach, especially what does a life coach look like. And so I'm really excited to bring to you Dorothy Payne Polk. So start with first introducing yourself as well as telling us how you got into life coaching.
Sure. So again, hey Danny, thank you for inviting me on your platform. Um, I am a certified life and career coach. I work and well, here's the thing. I contract actually as an affiliate coach with a private therapy company. It's actually the largest private practice in the city of Chicago. And the way I started is that I have a friend, she's a close friend of mine, who's a therapist. And I've been knowing her since I was age 13. And so, of course, when you've known people long enough, you pick up on these common themes. And she would always say, give me advice, or I come to you when I have a problem, or and that just sort of carried on throughout time. Fast forward, she worked for a private practice, and she had tons of clients who she had been seeing for years. And I've done therapy. I don't know if you've done it before, Danny, but for the people who are out there, no, therapy is definitely a setting where you can just do some unpacking. You are looking at your past behaviors, traumas. You're really trying to identify behaviors that have been causing hindrance in you moving forward. Well, with her clients, she was definitely doing the work with them. But what she realized in her time with them is that they had did a lot of development, but they wanted to activate. They were ready to like come up, move forward on ideas that they had discussed in therapy. Some wanted to look for bigger careers or advance within their companies. There were women that were like, I want to get my groove back. I've been a mommy for X, Y, and Z. And so she said, I think it'll be a good idea since you're really looking into doing coaching. And this is before I was certified, actually, for you to partner with me and come up with some creative strategic plans and motivational partnerships with some of my clients to see if you can really help them activate. So, in doing our partnership, it was very successful. A lot of her clients were doing really well. I got very positive feedback. And so, from that feedback, it launched me into saying, what, I can probably do this for real and get over some of my own insecurities and just really second guessing. Because when people think of the word life coach, there are two things that happen. You have the professional therapy rim who have gone to school and they've gotten degrees to say, that's not a real profession. And then it's a new sort of idea that um, we're growing more accustomed to, and we're trusting that there's a process and there's some value in having a coach in your life to really see evidence and bringing forth or maturating the things that you want to come to pass. And so, once I saw that, this really worked, I went and got trained. I went through a five month certification program. And then I also, the founder of the certification program became my mentor. And
Mm.
she provided me with tons of curriculum and really gave me those skills that I needed to hone in and really make what people want evident in their lives by offering them up tools and things that they needed to sort of bring forth. And so, fast forward for me getting certified 3 years later, I have my own practice, I have my own set of clients, and I also still consult and coach within the therapy practice as well.
Wow. Okay. Because so I guess take us through what the certification process is. So what kind of do you go through? Is it something that's broken down where you're focusing on a specific thing or area per month? Or what does that look like so people can kind of see? So as people are, you know, um, interviewing different life coaches, what are some of the stuff that they want to look out and maybe ask or questions or things to make sure that they're getting someone that is going to be the best partnership and mesh for them?
Okay, so here's the thing. There is no like accredited schools, and you can look up and sort of see, is this school accredited? If I get the certification here, is there a foundation that can back this up? Actually, life coaching does have a accredited incorporation. It's the International Coaching Federation. And there are several coaches, several programs that have to go through an application process. They have to provide a curriculum, and they have to do so many teaching hours in order to be able to train others. And so the program that I decided to go through was accredited under under these credentialing. And actually, my mentor, the director of the program, she sits on the board, so the international board, and so she helped bigger organizations and bigger schools get accredited as well. And so in her program, what she did, and which I think is very necessary, I think it mirrors the process of what therapists do, is that in order to coach and help other people, you first start with you. You get coached and you get help. And so a lot of our like beginning process was really just me being a client and me sort of going through my own process, navigating my own thoughts, trying to find hidden biases. Because here's the thing, you have to really be aware of where you begin and the client began. Because in coaching, what I've heard people say all the time is like, I want to coach because she knows what she's talking about. And I may have an idea of what I think is good for your life, but that doesn't mean that I know the full, perspective
The
of
full
what is
story.
needed
Yeah.
for. Exactly. There's always blind spots. It could be through my experience that I'm saying this, or a couple of clients that I've dealt with before, and I'm carrying that over into the next session. But so she really coached me to see my hidden biases, and I think that she gave me the one tool of advice that I use, like it's my underlying principle, is that all of my clients and my sessions are client led. I don't push my ideas. I don't push my theories. I don't push what I think that the client should be doing. I'm not one of those people in my sessions where I'm just talking, and having them write down, write down, write down, write down. My goal is to have the client activate and to self-actualize, because there's so much power in being able to come up with your own stuff, right? And to say, I had an aha moment, opposed to I had a moment where someone told me what to do. When you have these aha moments, when you see the clients sort of come into their own thinking and they gain confidence into doing what it is that they need to do for themselves, they will repeat that behavior in life. And that's the goal, is to just get them up and running in a way where they can mimic these behaviors and sort of master these actions, in other areas in their lives.
That's perfect. I did read a book called Communication Miracles for Couples, and they talked about how people don't like being told what to do. Like humans, not men, not women, just humans in general. They like being able to solve their own problems, and they like being able to like come up with their own conclusions. And so I think that what you kind of did really hit on the nail, and also probably I think speaks to like your success rating in that.
Yeah.
So I guess what I want to lead into is, what are your offerings? What are some of the things that you're kind of specializing in? And I know that you're taking new applications now. So what does that look like for people that want to see this and DM you and kind of go from there?
So I have like my packet for my classic client. And what that looks like is the client who is looking for either lifestyle or career coaching. And that's done monthly. And so I offer a package for that. That's a weekly 60-minute session with tools that I use in the curriculum that I have that include like imagery, vision building, and just honing in on habits and skills in order for them to sort of create or maturate the goal that they desire. And then I also have group workshops. Now, I started doing the group workshops way before I came a coach. just because I love sitting amongst a group of people and talking, because I'm really big on different perspectives, different ideas. And I feel like when you get a group of people together to talk about a certain topic, you always leave that setting knowing so much more, and people are relieved or feel as if they were heard or they got a problem solved. So that has always been something that's been very dear to my heart. So I offer group workshops, and I cater the workshops and the material around the title. Some workshops that I've done is like vision building workshop. I used to do a video vision workshop that was a takeoff of the vision boards, where I walked people through an exercise of creating the vision. I talked about limited beliefs and fears, and then we actually talked about activation. And once that was done, they created the vision and they were actually recorded, saying their sort of vision statement for the year. So I've done a lot of creative workshops that I those are dear to my heart. Now, what I am extremely excited about, Danielle, is something new, because this year in 2020, I've done a lot. Well, I won't even say this year. I think, like you said, throughout this pandemic, people have been doing a lot of self work, right? Really digging in, pulling back these layers. And I realized that in my practice, up until I've been doing this work, I've been very technical. I am a
Mm.
recovering perfectionist, like a recovering. I'm like step five. I'm almost graduated my program. But I be having some setbacks sometimes. But in doing that, I asked one thing of the universe, and it was I wanted to have more heart and soul in what I do, less thinking, less schooling, less technical skills, more authentic connections in what I do. And in order to do that, I had to peel me back. You know what I mean? Because people can't connect. They can connect with concepts, but if you really want to pierce and change people's life, they need to collect with heart and soul, and something that's authentic, that is of universal language to all. And so, with doing so, I've adopted I would say, or incorporated or expanded my lifestyle. I adopted different practices where I do energy healing through crystals. I'm getting my Reiki certification on the 24th, so I'll be certified in doing Reiki. I am a smudger, so sage, and then I'm really heavy on meditating daily. And so I just introduced a package, because a lot of my clients, as they've been seeing me transform and my conversation sort of changing, they're like, tell me about these crystals you be holding in your hand while you talking to me. Or, what did you do with, you sage what or what? And so I created a packet that I offer, 2 90-minute sessions, where I'm sort of introducing my clients into some energy healing. Because I'm more than positive, and I think I've said this a million times to people that I know, it's not about timing, it's about aligning. Like, we are all
Mm.
energy. And once you can get some things cleared up with you, that's more than half the process. Everything else just sort of happens in a way that it needs to happen. So that's another package that I offer. And then I have like a really extensive, big packet where I work with my clients for 5 months. It includes a lot of my own products. I have a product line called Manifesting Forward that include journals, that include workbooks, that include different tools to sort of help clients.
Can't hear you.
Sorry.
There you go. You're back.
Yeah, sorry. I should have been on Do Not Disturb. They help the client navigate as and we're putting long term work into play. Like, we're committing for 5 months because they're looking for an extreme amount of change. They want to see a dynamic shift in where they are and where they're trying to go. So, those are the 4 packages that I'm offering right now. I'm extremely excited about those.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So now we're going to get a little deep for you. So
Come on,
I
Oprah.
know that you said that, everybody has kind of been working on this in the pandemic and we've all gone. So what is, I guess, one thing or the biggest thing that you have worked on yourself through this pandemic. So like, you know, February 2020, that part or that thing was there, and now, you know, April 2021, that thing is no longer there, or you've come through. So what is like that big thing that maybe no one knows yet, but what's that one thing that you've done for yourself?
I think the one thing that I focused on the most, and it was very subconscious, it was forced because I didn't even think I had an issue in this area, was my relationships with just my friends and people. And so
Mm.
I guess what that ultimately means is that I just did some self work, right? I didn't realize, when things slowed down, how much, my career, how much my goals and how I was solely motivated by a lot of things that sort of, um, after, that stuff slowed down, I started paying attention into, how much I was really putting into my relationships. How much do I really nurture, my friends, my family? How often do I check up on other people? All of those things sort of like came to the front. And I think that once because words are power, I put that out in the universe, like, what's up with my relationships? And then everything went haywire, like literally. I mean, I went through a total disruption that made me do some real work in myself and realize that everything around me is a reflection of what I am experiencing within. So I think that during this pandemic overall, uh, for me, it was really like relationship building, redefining, getting back to the core of love and empathy and compassion. I think I had gotten so strict in my own goals and my own success that I had a checklist for everyone else. It was like, okay, you talking
Mm.
crap, girl, your story is too sad. Check off, I mean, I was even doing my husband like that a little bit. Like, if we ain't talking about business, I'm going to sleep, or my kids, let me see them grades, let me see, all of these things. I was being very technical. And so this pandemic just allowed me to sit back and really put some TLC into, the things that I thought that I know matter the most.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, I'm so excited. I'm excited for, you know, your business. I'm excited for these offerings. You know, we've been working together. She had, like she said, there's a workbook coming out. She's been speaking at different organizations. So if you're looking for a speaker for a college, an organization, or even one of your girls groups, all of that, she's available to be pitching and things like that. And then again, you can find her at dorothypainepolk.com or on Facebook at Dorothy Payne Polk, on LinkedIn at Dorothy Payne Polk. So she's pretty much the same thing. And then what's your Instagram again? What's that?
It's Dorothy Payne Polk as well.
Okay, okay. So yep, so that's everything. So if you could leave anybody with what do they need to do before they're able to work with you or any life coach? Like what are maybe three things that they need to kind of understand? Because I know that sometimes to make things work best, people need to kind of have an idea of what they want to address or how they want you best to assist them in their journey through life.
Realistically, they just really need to be ready. And they may not even know what ready means because that's the whole point of like my coaching is really helping pull out what the vision is and then talking about strategic planning to actually get there. So some people may come to me and say, I don't know why I need you, but I know I need you and I know I'm ready. So you have to know you're ready. I do an assessment where I can sort of tell if my clients are ready for coaching or if they're ready for therapy, because those are two totally different things. If you have done some therapy and some self-actualization, I tend to really like to work with those clients because they're more self-aware. That does not mean that I cannot work with you if you haven't gone through like a therapy process, and it doesn't have to even be that you've seen a therapist, but you've done some bit of reflecting, because what is essential in the world of coaching is that I am definitely going to help give you tools to sort of actualize the goals that you want to come to pass, right? But you have to be aware of how you operate and how you work. And so if you have all of these blind spots up and you are just oblivious to like your type, your work behavior, and you think you're here and you're already over here and you're not open to working out that process, it makes our journey a lot more difficult. So I think that there's really no real criteria. All you have to do is just know that you're ready for something different and then to reach out.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining. I'm excited. This is the first of many. And Dorothy will be going live and posting content on her pages. So definitely you want to tune in and follow her for more life coaching tips and everything else. And that's it. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you, Danny. Thank you for inviting me again on your platform. I enjoy talking to you all the time.
All right. Bye, guys.